Hello and welcome to the Pretty Good Gaming Podcast. Now this week is a little bit different since it's E3 and there's loads of news and that, and we actually did a live stream talking about some of the announcements from the Bethesda, Microsoft and EA conferences. That's what this week's podcast is going to be about because it was pretty comprehensive. We covered all the games and all the topics, and we thought that it would be useful for you as a podcast this week, so that's what we're doing this week. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Hello everybody, welcome to Pretty Good Gaming live stream. Mike Williams, Jake Kulkowski, Gareth Evans. We're here talking about E3 and how awesome it's been this year, right?
E3, well, yeah, I mean, it's still going on and it's still already awesome. It already feels like if this was all the announcements for E3, I'd feel quite content, but we're not even halfway through it, really. But it's been really good. Some conferences more than others, I guess. We'll go through them.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to go through all the conferences so far, and we're going to talk about what we think about everything that's kind of interesting to us. We're going to skip through a lot of this stuff. But if anything does interest you, let us know down in the chat, because we'll be taking comments and questions or whatever as we go along, starting the conversation. So it started off with E3 conference. We weren't really expecting much from this, right?
EA, right? Yeah.
EA. It's all right.
Don't
apologize. That's a good start. Andrew Wilson and co on stage talking about how awesome it is to have consumer choice, right? And,
kind of. They apologise a lot on stage as well. I found it was a bit weird, a bit of an unusual.
Hi guys, it's us, EA.
We're sorry about apologetic that. Tone, right?
Yeah, they were saying stuff like that. You know, all we can say is we'll do better. They were saying stuff like that. It was really letter to the head teacher kind of vibes, and they showed off some games, but I don't know. It kind of just. It was really not very good compared to the rest.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go through what games they did show off. Then FIFA 19 to begin. We're not interested in that.
No, it's another FIFA. Every year they do it, so par for the course. It'd be news if they didn't do it, but they did, and it wasn't very good.
Battlefield 5 they showed off then. We got any thoughts on this?
Yeah, looks great. Battlefield 5 looks good, yeah. But here's the thing. All the cool shit about Battlefield 5 I got from watching Jack Frags play it, because he's you guys know Jack Frags, right? He's done some sponsored videos for EA where he's got 2 5-minute videos of him just playing the game. None of this, no Oscar and Lars on stage, no weird words, no big strong bros making anyone believe. It was just gameplay, and the gameplay looks really good. They announced that it was Battlefield 5 Battle Royale. I think they just called it Royale. Battlefield
Royale, right?
Yeah, and I don't know. I would play it. I would definitely play it. But I can, if they didn't announce it, it wouldn't make a difference to me. They've announced it, and I'm like, I'll try it. I'll try it for one match, and if it's shit, I'll never play it again. But I guess they just.
That's a man after my own heart. That.
Yeah. Obviously, Call of Duty did it, right? And now Battlefield have done it.
But notably, Call of Duty ripped out the single-player campaign in order to facilitate it, whereas this is just an added extra take it or leave it. There's no.
I like the emotive word "ripped" there.
Yeah.
Shredded.
Dragged it out.
They did, yeah.
Like pulling a heart out of a game.
It's like a Mortal Kombat fatality, yeah, man. Well, I tell you what, EA. This is probably one of the highlights, the Battlefield thing, and like I'm saying, the best E3 Battlefield announcement is Jack Frags' YouTube channel. So this didn't really do much for me, and the Battle Royale mode will be probably cool to play for once. That's about all I got to say about Battlefield, because I want us to keep it strictly to their conference, and the Jack Frag shit was the good shit. This was just showing off pictures and story and all that, and I don't know.
It feels like they might have got the marketing wrong on this. It just feels a little bit. I don't know.
Well, for sure.
Over the top. They're not selling it right, that's for sure. There's something off. Anyway, let's move on. Unless Mike wants to chime in on the Battlefield.
No, it looks decent. I couldn't give a shit about the Battle Royale mode, to be honest. That's not what I play Battlefield for. I was saying this in the office to you earlier. I play Battlefield for the modes, and that's just not the shooting's great and it sounds great, the destruction is great, but the main reason I play it is because you've got that objective based, it feels like 2 armies going up against each other rather than COD, which is a bit more like any kind of arena shooter or anything like that is like a bit more headless chicken. I like the orderly structure and being surrounded by your allies and your teammates while you're doing it, and then a battle royale thing is not doing anything for me. But
they've got this grand operations mode, haven't they, which takes place over like 5 days or something.
They seem to be going bigger and bigger. Like Battlefield 1 had that theatre thing, and it's like, this is 3 games of Rush in one, and then now it's like 5 days.
It's over days,
which everyone seems to be excited about. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'll definitely.
There will be behind the scenes gameplay from E3. I'm pretty sure so we might see some actual gameplay.
Yeah, like from Jack Frags. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think he's at E3 playing it. They had some like Lil Yachty for anyone that listens to rap music. Well, he was there anyway. There's like lots of people playing it and stuff. And yeah, that's where you're gonna get the shit. That's where you're gonna get the answers to the questions you probably have about the game. How does it look? How does it actually play? You know what I mean? No Lars and Oscar. Sorry, boys.
So I did like these guys.
So there you go. We're going to move on now. And so then it was like the indie section where they unveiled Unravel 2, and you can buy it now, and everyone was like, "Woo, let's get down."
I always like that, even if it's Unravel, which I don't care about.
Yeah,
I always go, "Oh, that's
worth saying." Good. Unravel 1 was quite well received. Unravel 2 is a 2-player Unravel. More like Unravel 2 player.
Well, I must say I only don't care about it because I haven't played Unravel 1 yet.
Yeah.
I'm not meaning to.
It's good to have a straight away release.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Cool. It's nice. So that's Unravel 2. The next one was Sea of Solitude, right?
This is a bit of
an
interesting one. This is probably the most interesting new game from EA. They announced it was just some like woman that came on stage and was like, I was lonely once and I made the game about loneliness. It does bad things to people and I hope that you can relate to it. Now, this is the second EA Originals game. The first one was A Way Out with, you remember Joseph Fares? He was out and he was like, yo, fuck the Oscars and blah. And this woman was literally like, I've been very lonely in my life and I wanted to make a game about it. And it was a completely different tone for EA. It felt really genuine, It didn't feel like cringy or awkward or whatever people might assume from something like what I've just said. But yeah, it was cool. The game looks pretty decent as well. I like the graphics and that.
Looks quite cool, right?
Some Attack on Titan shit going on there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we moved on then. Madden 19, nobody gives a fuck about this.
That was a bit of a
weirdest thing ever.
Some guy that won a tournament of Madden came out of a real football player. I think American football player, and they were like shit talking each other on stage, and it was really bit weird.
NBA Live 19 was again. It's like,
so you got your EA
Sports, man. Sports.
You had your EA Sports.
That's we're not the channel to come to if you want to know about EA Sports. Let's move on to this really unusual announcement of a game. It's just probably the worst way to do it, right? Vince Zampella of Respawn sat in the audience and he said, you got a new game, right? And he said, yeah, I'm making Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And we were like, what the fuck is that? They didn't show any trailer, they didn't show any teaser, nothing. And that was it. We were left with that.
It might not have even been the real Vince. It could have been just some guy making it up. That's how authentic this seemed. It was just like the hostess was in the crowd and she was like, hello, you got this game? And he was like, yeah. And then it was like, okay, back to you, Andrew Wilson.
How do EA make Star Wars, the franchise, an announcement of a game that sounds so underwhelming? It's only EA, right?
Yeah, Star Wars is like one of the biggest franchises on the planet. Whenever there's a film out, it's an event, not a film. It's a huge thing. All they needed to do was...
They've already dropped the ball with it, haven't they? The ball's now on the floor. So they're just fumbling around,
use your sports analogy,
trying to pick it up again.
Yeah.
I mean, number one destination for sports analogies. Not sports coverage. So it's kind of... This was completely... I was so passive to this. I was just like, all right. And I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars and I love Star Wars games, importantly. So this was a bit,
we got
guys in the back look really unsure, says Ashura. Yeah, it's true. They're kind of like, I don't think they were planning on being on camera, these two guys.
We got a couple of nuggets of info, I guess, after the fact. Kind of during the chat. On anything. It'd be set between episode 3 and episode 4. Right, of the films. So in that timeline, the dark
every flipping Star Wars thing is set between episode 3 and episode 4. This is really annoying. I mean, there's loads of other films. There's like 8 mainline films now. Why is it always between episode 3 and 4? Put it between episode 1 and 2. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
try anything.
Listen to Mike, please. Yeah, listen to Mike. So you assume the role of a surviving Padawan, meaning you'll get to wield a lightsaber. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Scheduled for release during the holiday season of 2019. It's a single player experience.
The only thing that's giving me faith is that Respawn, I like this stuff. Like I do like this stuff.
Right?
Yeah, and Titanfall 2 I was a huge fan of. I thought it was a great first-person shooter, and I have a lot of faith in them.
Yeah.
Whether or not they get the freedom and the the level of flexibility they'll need to pull it off and do a good Star Wars is another thing. But oh my god, this thing!
So Command and Cringe Rivals, I've called this because this was a cringe fest, right? I mean, if I'm allowed to use that word, cringe.
Well, I
think wasn't this just the worst thing ever?
This was the worst thing ever. I agree. This is the worst, by far, the worst part of the EA conference, and I'll tell you why. Right, my problem with
and there's a lot of competition for that.
Right, this is the issue. So for those, because what you're watching here, everybody, is a trailer where at the top left it says Command and Conquer Rivals. What we watched was this random introduction to 2 professional shoutcasters.
Yeah.
Right, which even that I was like, okay, and then they started bringing out these pro players like In Control and that to play a game we didn't know anything about. We watched 8 minutes of awkward mobile free-to-play gameplay. It was only because of that eagle logo that I caught on that was GDI.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this Command & Conquer? Have I missed something? Have they said something? And then no, and at the end it was like, and that was the very first gameplay of Command & Conquer Rivals, which you can order the pre-alpha right now for free on the phone. So if you go on your phone and try and do it, it's not even available in this country.
Yeah. So there you go. We'll move on quickly because we don't really dwell on this. It was just a shit show, essentially. Liam Byers, 7, thanks for the Twitch Prime, by the way. We're going to move on next to Anthem. I'm going to drop some information, okay? Because we got more info from game demo. Let's do the game demo.
Anthem.
Anthem, right? So we learned that it will be releasing on 22nd of February next year. It takes place on an unknown planet where humanity is shielded by a large wall that surrounds the civilization, which kind of wasn't used. We knew that already. Players play the role of a freelancer and will travel beyond the wall in exosuits called Javelins, of which there are 4: the Ranger, Storm, Colossus, and Interceptor. So BioWare executive Casey Hudson told Jeff Keighley on the live stream that Anthem will not have PvP at all and will focus solely on PvE experience for players.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, go ahead.
First off, the premise is exactly like Destiny. Like humanity is walled off in the last city or whatever, and then you play as a freelance whatever, and you go out and fight the battles on your own terms, and you're your own agent, but you're like a part of a defense force type thing. It sounds exactly like the setup to Destiny. The fact there's no PvP though is, I think, got to be kind of a first for this. We've had Destiny and Division and all these games being announced that are live shared worlds. There's always a competitive element. So the fact that there isn't here, that's pretty cool, I suppose. I think it's at least sets it apart a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, another thing that they announced too is that you can play the whole thing single player, right? And it kind of exists separately. So the walled area is your single player area where there will be no multiplayer people, and then when you go outside the wall it's a free-for-all, right? You can do it co-op or you can do it on your own, but there'll be a narrative, there'll be stories, there'll be characters to interact with, and but however it will be always online. So that kind of balances it out too. And Mike Gamble, lead producer, said there are no romances, there are friendships. Some of the stuff like we did in Mass Effect, the Citadel DLC specifically, there are a lot of friendship movements. You and Gareth sitting up, shooting, that kind of stuff. We want to lean into that. The romantic stuff we're moving away from for Anthem.
It's a game about mech suits and shooting, so
it's a time and place in there.
It makes sense. There is time and place, and I feel like it would be such a weird, forced thing if they did it just to do it.
Just because it's a BioWare game, I'm completely fine with that, and I'm happy about it. If anything, I hate the feeling of ubiquity and feeling like every other game's the same thing. If I want that thing, I'll go for Mass Effect or Dragon Age or whatever. So I'm glad that they're being bold there and trying to do something, to differentiate it.
I must say, having not appealed to me from the start, they're saying a couple of things that are kind of appealing now, the single player aspect of it. The gameplay looks actually pretty good.
It's really similar to you said it in the office, that's what a lot of people are saying, the Division and Destiny, right? Or that's the mashup, but I'm seeing a bit of Mass Effect in there as well. But that is what I don't like, that combo, numbers all over the place, that Borderlands style.
Right.
That did raise an eyebrow. However, just the verticality of the whole environment and how low you can go and just travel in so many different.
And you can full on go under the water, fly up, take things on from not just different angles, but rotationally, but also higher and lower. And take on tasks from like you're saying a different vertical
Destiny gives you a certain degree of freedom, right? Like you can jump and double jump, and you've got customizable jetpacks that you can decide how they behave in the air and stuff. But this just like takes that idea and completely runs with it, doesn't it? Like, cranks it up.
I kind of like the idea. I like the idea of it only being PvE because you don't have to focus on different loadouts, and I don't know. I like it. I don't really like the numbers that pop up a lot because it's very intrusive.
Hopefully
it should
you
be.
can switch them off.
Yeah, I have a feeling it will be. This looked okay. It looked better than the first time I saw it, actually. And it didn't have the wow factor this time because I knew it was coming. But it did look better. So that's my choice.
So there we go. And that was the end of the EA conference, I think, unless there's anything else you want to discuss.
No, if anyone else in the chat, by the way, thank you to all like 120 fucking odd people that's watching this.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about to the chat yet. So.
Yeah, well, I've been typing away kind of asking if you got any questions specifically about EA, and I only had one, and it was asking me how gutted I am about No Skate 4, and gutted. More on that in a bit, but for those that are just joining us, we've got a lot to talk about. It's mostly just E3 in chronological order, so people are asking if we talked about Cyberpunk or this or that. We're doing it in the order it happens. So we've just done EA, and I understand that there's a lot of you, and we are. This is a little bit more like a live podcast, if anything. We've got the talk show button click for fuck's sake, boys, but and girls, obviously.
Moving on.
But we'll open up for some questions in a bit.
Can I just say one quick thing about the EA thing as well? That they talk about Star Wars Battlefront 2 a little bit, and then that was like, that was a good microcosm of the entire conference because there was a guy on stage saying things that are like, improving what they've been like in the past and trying to correct mistakes they've done and stuff. And he would make a little announcement about, and we're bringing this to Star Wars Battlefront, and then the crowd would just be like, yeah, woo. And that was it, like just the most tepid response. Yeah. And I've still got Star Wars Battlefront 2 installed on my PlayStation. That's my confession out of the way there. I want to play Star Wars Battlefront. I want to enjoy it, and I was a big fan of the originals, right? And like I said earlier, I love Star Wars. So I'm still holding out hope, and I'm still holding out. I've already bought the game, so I might as well. But it seems to be like they're kind of halfway realizing what the problem is. They kind of got a loose grip on it, but they're not going, that's what it needs. This is what it needs. They're just not confidently dealing with it. And I bought the game in whenever it came out, like November or whatever, and I'm still sat there waiting for it to be good,
crying a bit,
and it's a little bit, and it's just not getting there. So that Star Wars Battlefront thing, although there was very faint promise there, the crowd just didn't give a shit, and neither did I really. I want to be excited about it, but I want
them to be excited about it. But that was that, and I think we should move on now to Microsoft because this was a big one, right? This was, in my memory at least, one of the best conferences I've seen for pound, minute for minute excitement. I think this is pretty much up there. So let's start this off. They announced Halo Infinite, new Halo, a flagship franchise from Microsoft. And they just come out right and said it straight away. Started on a high. I like that. I like that they've got the balls to that. I haven't played any Halos before. Any of you guys interested?
Yeah, I definitely am. I do like the Halo universe. Although I've got to say that a few of the gaming websites and stuff have picked up the fact that this was as much a trailer for the engine as the.
That's true.
Because it says straight away there, game engine demonstration, showing off all the tech, like look at the water, look at the shiny surfaces, look at the lighting, all this. And the Halo comes in like, the Warthog Master Chief and the Halo ring. And that's, this is tech stuff, right?
Brand new engine, right?
Yeah. But that's cool. That's like an investment in the future, just like a lot of Microsoft stuff. A lot of it was like one eye on the future. This was a big part. This is where it all begins. Like, it's cool. Look at that. Whoa!
Those look great, right?
I watched the Microsoft conference with Liam, and we thought this was Tomb Raider for maybe up until in a minute. We were like, "Is this the new Tomb Raider? Yeah. What is this?" And then we've seen these rings and shit.
Giant
it was. Right? Yeah. Well, this is the part where when we saw those broken rings
suspicious.
That we kind of decided, what is this? It looked interesting, and I would still now. I would not have
Jurassic
guessed.
World even.
I mean, they look like warthogs. I think that's what this. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It was kind of a bit unsubstantial until you've seen this helmet.
Yeah. And, so let's skip to that bit before we move on.
Nice bright, vivid colours there that I like. Not normally the serious steely colours of a sci-fi game, black boring space colour.
Halo's always like that.
Yeah.
The marketing isn't there. The actual game.
It's a beautiful image.
Focus,
love it.
the actual game is colourful, and the enemies are colourful, and the lasers and the weapons are colourful sci-fi. They're like having fun with it. You know, they're not going, oh, it's like Killzone, it's got to be realistic bomb weapons and stuff. It's like just giant laser cannons and stuff. It doesn't matter.
The word infinite, you know, traditionally relates with forever and long periods of time. Long periods of time normally go hand in hand with things that are online.
It looks very much that open world.
You know,
it might. Yeah. If it's an open world Halo, that'll be something, right?
So that's definitely going to be big.
Open
and then
world
we
live
saw
environment, innit?
Yeah.
Open world co-op.
It makes sense.
Space engine as well. I don't know what that is, but yeah, Slipspace.
There you go. So Ori and the Wisps was announced, but we're going to move straight to Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, because this was one of the most talked about ones going in, because it was teased, but we weren't sure what it was. We thought it might be Bloodborne 2. We thought it might be Tenchu, right?
Yeah.
But it turns out it's both.
Yeah, it's essentially both. This is perfect. This is my favourite game that we've seen all conference, so that's just out of the way. This was awesome. So me and Liam have been playing Dark Souls recently, and we've played so much of it that you can tell just by looking at that's the character models from Software games. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a From Software.
Especially
when
they start moving, especially when the character...
Yeah, so this is the point where we figured it out, and then Activision comes up in a minute. From Software and Activision are the owners of Tenchu. So I was like, because Activision, normally From Software are fucking with Sony or Bandai Namco. So when it was Activision, I was like, this is fucking Tenchu. The next scene is a guy with a samurai sword, someone doing the classic Tenchu wall walk, a grappling hook, and I was like, this is happening. But then no, it turns out it's a completely new IP based around two things, ninjas and souls, and that's the two things I love.
It's essentially going to be what you want, though, isn't it? Even if it isn't Tenchu, there's going to be a lot of Tenchu in it.
Yeah.
And my biggest observation was that it's a lot less dreamy and nightmarish than Dark Souls and Bloodborne, which are like really vague and like opaque, and you don't quite know what's real and how real it all is and stuff. I fully think this is taking place in a fantasized version of the real world. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel like this is a nightmare hellscape like Dark Souls or Bloodborne.
Well, here's something that might be interesting to those that are watching. I don't know how obvious this information is here, but about a week and a half ago, somebody leaked this on the internet and no one believed him. But he got the name right, he got the release date right, he got the trailer content right and everything. He said it a week ago. And then he also said that it's going to be Souls-like. It's going to feature trick weapons, but you got 3, not 2. It's based
trick weapons from Bloodborne, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
doesn't know.
It's going to be an aggressive, fast-paced style based around mobility. It's going to be more open world than a Souls-like game. The story is going to be a little bit more narrative heavy than Souls, rather than finding everything out through extensive research and Australian people on the internet. This is going to be a lot more told directly, and as well as that, there's going to be the story heavily revolves around a cult. So that guy was right about the rest of it a week ago. How could he have got it right if he was just making it up? You know, so it looks like that's what we've got.
Yeah, super excited for this. One of the ones that stood out for me because I love the Tenchu franchise. I love that ninja thing, and having not got into Bloodborne, I've been told by a few people that apparently it's quite good.
I've heard a couple of people talking about it.
It's alright, let me tell you guys.
It's alright.
Simply Phil in the chat was always talking about this one, Bloodborne, I don't know.
So there we go. That was that mystery solved. Thanks to the Peeps champion for the Twitch Prime, by the way, and anyone else who I've missed. I'm sorry about
loads
that.
Of people
we will
Twitch
jump
Prime,
back in and try and thank Wally Whopper too. Thanks for the Twitch Prime. Mecha Cakes 411. Thanks. VKE91. Men Gagging. Thank you very much.
Nice.
Men Gagging. And everybody, I'm sorry if I have missed you. I think that's it for now.
Been quite a lot,
we are going to move on next to, Full Life 76 was next because Todd Howard came on stage. And it was the teaser trailer. We're going to talk about that later because we're going to talk about the Bethesda thing separately. So Full Life 76 got a lot to talk about that. But we'll deal with that later. Next up was this, which actually caught my eye because this is from Don't Nod. This is called The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit, which is set in the Life is Strange world. The timeline is concurrent with the Life is Strange sequel, Life is Strange 2, which is in development, but this is a separate 2-hour free-to-play installment, which gets released on June the 6th, which is very interesting.
26th.
June the 26th.
Yeah, because 6 is in the past.
Excuse me. So this looks pretty cool, right?
This looks good, and do you know what I just kind of clicked in my head now? Maybe Square Enix tonight will show off Life is Strange 2.
That's a good call.
I'm thinking if they're willing to show off this, which is a connected story, I was thinking, why are they showing us off at Xbox? Maybe they're going to show Life is Strange 2. But yeah, this is cool. You could kind of tell it was based in the world just because of the music.
Searching for Stevens.
Isn't there like time traveling and stuff in there?
Yeah, this is.
So wouldn't it be pretty fucking cool if it was coming out on June the 6th? Do you know what I mean?
It's been out for 4 days.
I don't make mistakes, guys. Just saying.
Time traveling, man.
It caught my eye. I loved the original Life is Strange.
Yeah,
looking forward to the sequel. I enjoyed Vampire, which was Don't Nod's. Don't Nod are really busy because they're working also on Twin Mirror, which was announced a few days ago too. So they've ramped up. Maybe they're riding that wave of cash they made from Life is Strange.
Yeah.
And they've expanded and they're making loads of games now. So I welcome it. I love this type of.
I like this. I know it's going to be like very fun. It'll probably be a bit touching. It's probably going to have a bit of cringy dialogue in there, but it'll be okay.
Awesome music confirmed.
Yeah, it's going to be. It looks like Rock's over in the chat saying it looks like an indie movie that you don't see in theaters. Yeah, it looks like one of them. It's got promise, and I think it's going to tie in directly to Life is Strange 2. So hype for this, and for a free game, why wouldn't you be?
Yeah,
a couple of hours long.
A 2 hour long, right?
So free. What's the price in it? Marketing for Life is Strange 2, innit? They wouldn't just do it for charity, would they?
That's right, Mike.
Next up was Crackdown 3, which they showed off in detail. But we're going to move straight on to Metro Exodus, which got its next installment, its next trailer. We saw this first at E3 last year, I believe. But this time we got an in-depth look at the world and maybe how the game plays.
It looks nice, man. It looks a lot like the other Metro games. I was a big fan of the first two. I can't say, though, this is one of, 4 post-apocalyptic worlds shown off in the Microsoft conference alone. Fallout, this, you had Dying Light, and The Division 2. All of which are post-apocalyptic. That's not including Rage 2, for example, which is in the Bethesda one. It's it's a popular genre, but nevertheless, this one's set in Russia, so it's totally different.
It looks beautiful, right? It looks awesome.
Yeah.
The world looks really deep, rich. This just looks like there's so much to it. And what caught my eye also was they look like the weapons are customizable, a la Fallout 4. The way that you take parts off, you'll see it in a bit, and then add parts on. It just looks really cool.
It's I like the idea of it being a bit more open. I like the monsters.
Yeah, the openness.
They're like kind of like Balverine from Fable.
Oh yeah, that was cool. Yeah. There's a lot of that stuff. There's a lot of that stuff in it. A lot of wolfiness. A lot of kind of that kind of
Russian
creature
folklore, isn't it? Really.
Exactly. And you can they feel like old monsters, even though it's kind of a sci-fi post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, exactly. They got that proper like bestial folklore aspect to it, and graphics look pretty delicious as well. I've got to say,
like the first two, I would say, were kind of tech showcases for PC gaming anyway. Back in the day, especially Last Light, where they're just running the latest tech and the good benchmark games and that stuff because they're really demanding and whatever. Does look good.
So there we go. Let's move on. Anybody got anything to say about Kingdom Hearts?
Kingdom Hearts, I feel like this is one of the nicest looking fucking trailers I saw.
About as sickly sweet as you could expect, I suppose.
What was the story? His heart is in my heart. It looks fucking fire. The graphics look beautiful, nice. beautiful. Little joke there. It looks really, really nice. I was streaming this on 4K on my TV, and do you know what? I didn't realize how much of the conference I was actually streaming in 4K until this came along, and I was like, how does this look so fucking good? Come on, this is the... I mean, right, I was watching, like I said, watching it with Liam, and he just blew up. There's only one other game that made him happier than this, and we'll go into that in a minute. But this, it looked cool, and nice to see a little bit of Arendelle, Tangled World in here. Delayed again to January 2019, but no one seems arsed because they've been blinded by Disney here. But the graphics look very, very nice. And you know what?
Very fun.
I haven't played Kingdom Hearts since PS2, but then again, I don't think anyone has because they haven't put a game out since then. But I think I might actually play this in January. I think I might. Nino Cooney.
You're saying it like that, but that doesn't surprise me. I would expect. I would pick this as one of the games you would play for some reason.
I wouldn't have until I've been watching more and more trailers, and Liam's excitement's kind of infectious. So look at that. Shouts out Rapunzel every time. That's Kingdom Hearts 3.
I mean, it looks very fun.
Look at that, kicking ass with a yo-yo.
Yeah, no, look, and you've got your nice gummy ships and stuff back as well. which they've had in the whole time.
It's got its audience, doesn't it? And I think, do you know what's weird about this as well? It reaches people who aren't necessarily gamers. I've spoken to a lot of people who've said Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, yeah.
I love Kingdom Hearts on PS2 or whatever. And I've never heard them talk about games before.
Yeah.
So
my kids are going to lap this up with Anna and what's the name?
Elsa.
No, I'm not going to forget Elsa. And Olaf. I mean, they're going to absolutely lap this
Well, how many of these fucking worlds do they have? They've got the Toy Story one, Hercules one,
They basically have
Tangled.
all of the worlds.
They've got. It's like, how big is this game? Because remember that it is at its heart basically a Final Fantasy game, isn't it? And they're massive. So I don't know how. Look, Monsters Inc. world, man, it's huge.
If you've ever had an idea for a book and you're thinking of writing it, don't bother because Disney already own it.
Yeah.
That's legal.
Kingdom Hearts 3, everybody.
Let's end it on that.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
So next, some more Sea of Thieves info.
Then Battlefield 5 again. The worst thing.
Forza Horizon 4. Now, this surprised me by how well it looked. I'm just going to show a little bit of this off. I haven't got much to say, but it's set in Britain.
Them car games.
And it looks fantastic.
Okay. So this is where the conference gave me time to breathe because it was just back to back announcements of stuff I was interested in. And this is where they kind of slowed it down. This is like the Xbox equivalent of FIFA.
That's so funny you're saying this is where they slowed it down and the whole game is about going as fast as possible.
But I mean, like they full on take time to talk to people in the audience and they have like the little showcase on stage. Normally they whip out a fucking Porsche on stage, but they didn't have room because they had all the Xbox One X's there. But they started talking about, like, you know, what the game involves and stuff. And I'm not really into driving games. I got a little bit of info from Liam about it being a bit more Burnout Paradise-y than Forza Motorsport, which is the serious one. Horizons is a little bit more casual.
It's a bit more arcadey,
Yeah. So this is a giant shared world. It's the UK. But it's a shared the UK. And it looks nice. Car games are always used to showcase new gens because they look nice.
4K, 60 frames per second, Xbox One X, it's good. It looked good. It caught my eye, that's for sure. If I was going to play a driving game, it would be this one.
Let me know what your thoughts are on Forza Horizon 4. Guys, all 143
I know Simply Phil will be
you,
lapping this up, that's for sure.
I understand that we are neglecting you a little bit, but it's because we've got lots to talk about, okay? Yeah. But if you ask us questions, I'll try my hardest to answer them.
Simply Phil says you can drive through Rill and have no wheels on your car when you come out the other side.
Yeah.
Actually, Rocktober, you did. Did you watch a Sea of Thieves trailer? Really quick. They proper took Galadriel from fucking Lord of the Rings, doing it.
How did we get there from stealing wheels off tires?
Because that's what Rocktober in the chat said.
Right.
Okay.
I'm getting the ats.
Okay, jump in if I.
We're not going to talk about that real racism then.
I wasn't
going to let that slide.
No, I just thought it was a fact.
I'll deal with you later.
Sarcastic laughing. I was like, well, that's true, isn't it? Anyway, We Happy Few was next. Not much to say about that. Any of you guys?
We Happy Few. Well, yeah. We Happy Few.
We'll talk about the acquisition later.
I see.
So Tales of Vesperia definitely.
It's an exclusive. That's all there is to say about it.
Yeah. And the Division 2 was the next one, right? And this was big because they dropped a gameplay trailer essentially.
6 minutes.
Although it was quasi gameplay, if you like, where it's not
directed.
Exactly.
It's all directed, and the cameras, the player.
There's people playing it though, right?
Oh, it is, yeah. But the player pans to the right just as another player is using an ability.
Oh, it's choreographed gameplay, right? But it's gameplay nonetheless.
I said they were directed like 9 times. It's perfect word for it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's still gameplay though, right? Ubisoft
directed gameplay. Watch this now. I'll show you. I'll show you direction.
I'll give you some info. Release date on March the 15th next year. It takes place in Washington DC. 7 months after Deadly Virus was released in New York. It's coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a good direction. That I'll tell you something. The Ubisoft's conference is tonight. So why they're showing this off this much? It's like there was 10 minutes dedicated to it. I thought maybe you'd get a trailer and then it would be more at Ubisoft's own conference, but remember that what you see there will be powered on the One X. You know what I mean? But no, it wasn't. It was a full-on, we got Megan, we got Kit, we got Duke, we got like the voice actors that we know and love. Yeah. It looks okay.
It's a lot of this environmental setting part of the trailer, and then it goes into some action later on, so I'll just skip to that part.
Look at all the debris there, right? The star of the show in the original Division, the reason I play it is because they did a great job with the environments, and New York looks amazing, and it feels like walking through New York. The scale is perfect. Like, the size of the person relative to the car feels spot on, if you know what I mean. And then, but the knock-on of that is the same is true for the buildings. So the buildings are like huge around you, and they've done exactly the same thing here. So I'll play this just so I can go around this environment and see what it's like.
Did you guys enjoy it when they were talking to each other?
Yeah, when Kit level 29 was explaining why. He
said he was busy, I think.
Yeah, too busy to rev up to level 30, and
This is again. This is another bit of a breather.
This is the game.
This is the direction, right? Yeah. So you can see that he's looking at other players. He's like,
my chem bomb, and then she's like, Matt. Yeah,
he's turned that way, so you get a better view of the HUD. There's one moment coming up soon where, for no reason, he just looks to the right, sees another player using an ability. It's coming up now, I think.
Yeah. This is exactly how the game should play,
so
though, right?
Scripted.
Surely.
Yeah, it's.
This is how you'll play it.
But you don't. What I'm saying is, everything is like carefully. Look, he just looked at
it's like a dance.
The spot on.
Yeah, this is the whole fucking meme of it, right?
Yeah.
It's so not how normal people play the game, and they try and pass it off like dead normal.
Oh, here we go. He's following the grenade. Look at the grenade explosion.
Yeah,
he's shooting out.
Do you know what I was thinking when I was watching this? How many takes would they do this in? One take?
What gets me is that they're aiming for the hips. Just aim for the head.
He's shooting, right? He does a bit of shooting. Looks at his mate for no reason.
Yeah. Oh, and
there goes the ability.
She's got the chem bomb.
Oh, follows the ability. Do you know what I mean?
It's directed. That's what I think they call it. But I think that with games like this, it can be cinematic. But no one's doing this, are they? No one's looking, like you're saying. Everyone's just focusing on headshots.
It does a good job of showing off some features, right? Gameplay features.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It looks a hell of a lot,
which is essentially what they're trying to do here. So,
in terms of gameplay, it looks exactly like the original. Really, I've got to be honest.
Yeah.
New abilities.
You excited for it? You're looking.
I'll get it. Yeah, I like.
You're a fan of the original.
I like the first one. This looks like basically what I would have wanted. Different environment. Although I would have liked them to stay in New York because they did such a good job and just do a different part of it and do somewhere else. New York's a huge city and they did such an amazing job. I would like to see that. But I like what they've done. I like that they've taken the Crisis route of just adding loads of vegetation and stuff to make it feel a bit more like a jungle city, or like the nature is taking over again, which is quite cool.
So there we go, and let's move on then. Unless you've got anything else to say, we've got Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Oh, actually, we'll talk about the announcements. So they acquired studios. Okay, they bought Microsoft announced. Yeah, they bought Playground Games. Let's have a look at my notes here. Undead Labs, Ninja Theory, and Compulsion Games. So Ninja Theory who make Hellblade. Compulsion Games who made We Happy Few we mentioned earlier, and then Playground Games who are the Forza team, and they
Undead Labs who made
Undead Labs State of Decay.
And then they
so this is big news, right?
Yeah, they didn't say something about making their own studio as well at the Initiative or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was though.
There's 5 new studios total.
Yeah, which is quite a lot of acquisitions. And this is basically laying the groundwork for next gen, if you ask me. Because if they acquired all these people now and said, okay, make some games for it now, they're not going to be ready for years.
Yeah,
right?
Of course, absolutely.
So,
the fact that he mentions Xbox One, which we'll get to in a sec, I'm sure. The fact that he mentions is they're working on the next Xbox consoles. In the same conference that they're saying, we got 5 new studios.
Exactly.
You won't see any of their stuff now until, apart from We Happy Few.
That's what I mean. You're probably going to see all these devs debuting their Xbox exclusives next gen, so that was good groundwork laying this. But
it was interesting because I saw a video dev video posted by Ninja Theory explaining why they signed with Microsoft, and they explained in that video that they approached Microsoft. Microsoft approached them and they said, well, we want to do it our way. We want free, total autonomy. We want to be able to do whatever we want. So that's all we can offer. Wasn't expecting too much. Microsoft turned around and said, yeah, we'll do that, and we'll offer our support, our team in support of you two. Do whatever you want. Be fully autonomous. And then that was how it was formed, which is great.
Although I do feel a little bit like, I did watch that video, right, and I do feel a little bit like it's the world's tiniest violin kind of thing, because the first half they used the Hellblade music, and it's like, things were really bad, you guys. We almost had to shut down. But then Microsoft came around, and everything is good now.
So Jan Stevens starts playing again. It's.
But that's good news, right? The fact that they're not going to impose anything, or seemingly they're not going to impose anything on the studio, and allow them to be as free and creative as they have been in the past. What generated Hellblade, which is one of our games of the year last year.
Yeah, I think the most exciting thing for me was when Cheeky Phil said that Playground Games are working on something completely different than their little car games.
Yes.
Just tell me it's Fable, Phil.
And Phil, was that a little Fable thing? Because that was the closest we got.
That's
the rumoured. So hopefully we will see Fable.
Do you know what's annoying? Yeah, he's done so many quotes saying, "Oh, we're just all about being open. We just want to be honest and open with gamers. Be open about Fable, then. Tell me what that game is."
I love Big Phil on the stage, man. I thought he was killing it.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
I was engrossed.
He's good. He's good off the stage. He's good in interviews and stuff. Yeah. He says good stuff.
I feel like if Fable 4 was to be announced, they don't want to announce it before they've got something meaty to shock people and think, "Wow, this is awesome." If it was just a real trailer, like
Bethesda would do,
like Bethesda might do, for example, might get to that in a bit. It doesn't feel like enough of an impact if they were to do that. So they're probably holding back and waiting for a better time when they've got more to show.
Yeah. It's not going to be Peter Molyneux, is it? It's going to be Playground or whatever they're called. But what would be amazing though if it was Peter Molyneux, and Peter Molyneux doesn't talk about his games anymore, and it was just leaving
that's what
it.
Liam said to me, if Peter Molyneux was doing it because that's the legacy, and isn't that the most Peter Molyneux thing to do?
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. So come on, that could happen still. Don't give up hope on Peter.
Yeah.
All right, it could happen.
Yeah. Is it Legacy? Is the next game that Molyneux's people are supposed to be working on? And that's like a code name for.
It's a code name, Legacy. It's not its official name.
It's not like Molyneux's Legacy is a thing we've just made cooked up because.
No, Molyneux's Legacy is arguably Fable. So more on that hot room later.
That's not news. That's just
okay. Yeah. Shadow of the Tomb Raider was the.
We kind of already knew about that.
Yeah.
We didn't see much.
Session? Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Let's talk about Session, Jake.
Session was fun because on the internet, everybody went mad for about 40 seconds thinking it was Skate 4, but it's not EA or anything. And I played this already. I played it a while ago. I played it twice, 2 different builds of it. And it's good. It's good. It was basically made by fans who were sick to death of waiting for Skate 4, so they thought, we'll make it ourselves. So they're making it themselves, and it's already got a trailer. They only started it about a year ago, and unbelievably, it's coming out sooner than Skate 4 is. So hopefully this does well, and then it'll give EA the boost that they need to release actual Skate 4. But yeah, Session, you can find the build of it, I think, online if you support them on Kickstarter. I don't know if they'll be on Kickstarter now that they've got Xbox backing them, but it's a console launch exclusive, I think, which means it'll probably come out on PS4 as well. But yeah, if you're into your skateboard games, this is the closest we're going to get this E3. Good news, though.
Yeah, good news, indeed. So, Black Desert Online.
Yeah, exists already, been out for ages.
Devil May Cry 5.
Okay.
So this is a big one. This is a big one.
I like this trailer a lot.
Okay. This is a...
So let's talk about it. It's planned for release in spring 2019. It's been developed by Capcom internally. The trailer stars Nero, the character which is featured primarily in Devil May Cry 4. Director Hideki Itsuno, also appeared on stage to say that this is a true sequel to the last number in this entry in the series.
I don't like that, by the way.
Why?
Ninja Theory made DMC, and I think it's just a bit of a.
It was a soft reboot, though.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a. Forget about that one, guys. This is a proper Devil May Cry game. It's not need to be like that, is it? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay, I've got a press release here. I'm going to read it out. It says, years have passed since the legions of hell have set foot in this world, but now a new demonic invasion has begun, and humanity's last hope will rest in the hands of 3 lone demon hunters, each offering a radically different playstyle. United by fate and a thirst for vengeance, these demon hunters will have to face their demons if they hope to survive.
Face their demons.
They're having a great time. The world's taken over by demons, and they're just like,
Nero does remind me a little bit of the Scalebound protagonist. However, the 3 demon hunters, even though we can clearly see 2 here, who must the third be? This was the big hype moment for a lot of people I follow on Twitter, and of course Liam, who was going berserk.
It looks lovely, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is.
I like the facial animations in that.
The graph, when you do see snippets of presumably gameplay, and like this part, for example, it looks very slick. And God of War's the kind of the combat tier at the moment, isn't it? You know what I mean, in terms of slick combat that moves from you know what I mean, right? With graphics that these paired up, and this is probably going to be one of the better ones. Bayonetta was the last thing I think to be
Nier Automata, I suppose.
Oh yeah, Nier, okay. Nier Automata, funny you should mention that. Yeah, Devil May Cry 5 finally. It was leaked months ago. All the leak information seems to have come to light, so be careful if you're looking around on the internet, because I think the plot's out there already. Very cool. And like you were saying, the fact that they said forget about the fucking reboot. It's like
all words to that effect.
Well, they might as well
forget about the fucking. Imagine they said that one.
He said it in Japanese. You couldn't understand it.
Yeah, it was. It was very cute to see him excited. But yeah, he's basically said, "Yeah, forget the shit, though."
It just. I wasn't a huge fan of that.
But one thing's for sure, it looks good. So Cuphead is having a sequel. But
it's just a bit of DLC.
DLC. Apologies.
I love. Can you play the trailer just quickly?
Yeah, sure.
I love. No, it's. Yeah, the music's great, right? But I just love the words on screen. No, don't jump. Let it. There you go. A most exciting addendum. It's like the best.
So it's
absolutely love that.
Playable character. I don't know if that means it's going to be 3-player as well as some additional levels and stuff like that. Is it the Chalice Lady? Can't remember the name.
Legendary Chalice has Ms. Chalice or something.
That's it. There we go. So
Cuphead. A most exciting addendum.
Fantastic.
I'm going to use
game.
that. I'm going to steal that.
It's such a fantastic.
Yeah.
So next was Tunic, which for me looks pretty damn good. Made by one developer. I'm not sure what his name is, but you're excited for this?
Yeah, it's made by. I know. All I know is that he's a proper California hipster that speaks like this a lot. Okay, and I've been following this game for years since it was called Secret Legend, and he sends me creepy video log emails where he whispers at people.
Personally to you?
See if you Google. Have a little look on YouTube. Try and find it. His name's Dicey. Andrews, something Dice, and he whispers to you like this. Okay, so it's like pure like ASMR looking stuff, and it seems to have come on quite a lot since I last saw this, which was at PAX East, and I've seen loads of like this bit of him opening the chest.
Is that coming on the Switch?
I don't know if they've released any info.
That would be
so. It would be a shoe-in for the
game.
Switch, right?
I do know that it's coming out on Mac and Linux, so I'm assuming if they're going to do a game on Linux and not the Switch, it looks brilliant. It still looks brilliant. It was actually shown off at Microsoft's conference last year as well, a little bit.
The combat wasn't shown off though. This is new, right?
No, you only saw this part of him rolling around. You didn't see him fighting.
It looks a bit like Transistor for some reason as well. Not the combat, but just the isometric, and because it's that high fidelity isometric world as well.
Yeah, if you're interested in more gameplay, including lots of tips on how he makes the game, find his dev blog. It's the one where he whispers at you. Just search it. Search Tunic Dev Diary, and it looks very cool.
It's a good recommendation.
So let's move straight on to one of my highlights of this whole thing, Dying Light 2. So this is a sequel to the original Dying Light. It's a first-person apocalyptic survival sequel known for parkour and zombies, and Chris Avellone, of all people, legend that he is, came on stage to announce it, and he's on board as a narrative designer for the game, known for Fallout 2, Fallout New Vegas, Pillars of Eternity,
Baldur's Gate 2, Knights of the Republic, everything.
Some of the best RPGs you've ever heard of. This guy wrote.
For sure.
I got to tell you, boys, right? Having Chris Avellone on there, what that means to me, I'm getting real bored of zombie games, right? I'm getting bored of it. Chris Avellone on. Yeah, I want to see it. I want to play it. I want to see what he's that kind of narrative kind of craftsman. He knows how to make a good story, and not like just a good story. Just he knows how to make video games interesting. In terms of how you interpret the story and how I love it.
Talking of interesting, okay, they showed off this part of the game, right? It's so the game includes factions, and these are scavengers which you're killing now, but you could choose to side with them. So look at the world as it is now. You could make a different decision, and they're showing that now in the gameplay.
A handy little flowchart.
So it says that the game will changes based on your decisions. Each player's game experience will be unique, says Chris Avellone.
Pretty David Cage, that, isn't it?
Described as a non-linear narrative. So you could side with those scavengers against the peacekeepers, which are these guys in blue. So if you did a job for them, they take over. They run there's like a mission to try and negotiate for control of the water, right? But that's like a martial law thing where they're just like keeping the peace, but very brutally.
Brutally
keep. I mean, if they're dead, they can't uprise, can they? So you could take his hand there, and then that has a drastic effect on how the world looks. Now look at it now; it's completely different, right? There's what happens is apparently you control the water, and obviously I'm guessing you get share of the spoils, but the world as a result is a lot more rough.
Rough. There's zombies in it, right?
Crazy. Well, there's zombies.
Fuck them off.
I was going to say, you just said then you were sick of zombies. Gaz have been talking, you've been talking. The whole time, not one zombie apart from the very, very, very end. I played Dying Light all the way through. I really, really enjoyed it. It was a proper one of those games that you think is going to be a 7 out of 10, and it's about an 8.5. So you're excited. One of those.
There they are. There's the zombies.
And it was really good all the way through. I very, very much enjoyed the mechanics of it.
Yeah.
And that got me through the game alone. So now combine that with an interesting premise and a story, and we're golden. Although at the moment I am getting a bit annoyed that people keep fucking saying, like, see any mountain in the distance you can climb that. People saying choices matter is annoying. It is annoying. I think you brought it up to me.
That's because I say it so often in the thing.
Well, no,
choices matter, Jake. Choices matter.
It's when Mike said it, and then I hear it all the time. The choices that you make will shape the world. And maybe it's only because it's been like Detroit, Vampire, and this have said it in the past week of my life. So I'm like, my choices
enough.
Stop it.
Enough choices.
I don't want my choices to matter.
It's just like Hollywood, though. Like, if there's one success, then there's multiple people trying to, mimic the same thing. You got currently, it's choices matter. It's live, connected, online co-op environment, and it's
our biggest game yet.
It's Battle Royale. So that's the three. Yeah, biggest game. Yeah.
Where is this set though?
It doesn't matter. It's 7 times bigger than the original.
Yeah, exactly. I can't quite tell where it's supposed to be set. The world looks very The Last of Us,
Yeah, it's much more like an East Coast American city. I might have that completely wrong, but it's more like that.
Well, developed in Poland. So
might have been European flair.
May well be European.
Yeah, there are some European.
In the background, look at those spires and stuff like that.
It looks like just made up, to be honest. It just looks like Dishonored, almost. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's interesting to see.
Your choices. See the world changing there. Your choices.
Zombie game. So Dying Light 2, interesting.
It could. The best thing I've got to say about that, really, and I mean it as a genuine, like a serious compliment. It could have been much less interesting than that, but that is a genuine sequel.
Yeah.
That it could have been just more zombies. This time you can jump higher, you can run faster.
Yeah,
that's a serious sequel. So that's good.
Just Cause 4. Anyone got anything to say? Should we just
we already knew about it.
We already knew.
I want it to be good.
And then they announced Gears. Gears
Pop.
This
is good.
Is there any word less Gears of War than the word pop?
Gears Pop? What the fuck is
Gears?
This
is funny.
Everyone crazy.
They showed this logo, and everyone in the crowd was
and then this guy pops out,
and then Liam was like, Funko Pop. Weird because he just watched a documentary.
It's so funny, how in like 2007 or whatever, I can't remember what year, 2006 possibly actually, they came out with a decent, good third person cover shooter. That's a really good multiplayer game, right? And then like 10, 11, 12 years later, there's it's Funko a massive Pop. Franchise that there's Funko Pop and there's this tactics game coming. They've leaned on it as a franchise.
That's a mobile game, and apparently it was one of 3 Gears announcements. So the next was Gears Tactics, which looks interesting, XCOM style combat, new to the franchise, but like they did strategy game focus now, which is
they've done it with Halo Wars. That's an old school RTS. This is a lot more like a XCOM
bits of the gameplay
tactics game. I'm into this.
Rod was very cute. I liked him. Him a lot.
Nice
I liked how he spoke. He seemed very genuine and excited about the franchise, and he seemed to live and breathe it. So I liked Rod. I'd give Rod an 8 out of 10. As for this, I don't really care too much, but the tactics mode made it a bit more appealing. Well, I played the Gears 1 and 2 through, and possibly 3. No, just 1 and 2. And this, I don't know, the tactics mode's cool, and I'm sure Gears fans, well, based on the electricity in the room, I wasn't there, but I heard it, when they announced that logo, people were going mad, and look at the crowd go mad when they announced Gears 5,
Yeah, so Gears 5 was the actual...
Are they going with that now? Gears 5?
Gears 5. I don't know if
it's just
War
out now.
Gears of War 5.
Just called Gears.
Just call it Gears 5. It's easier, isn't it? It's a lot shorter.
Well, so the official picture's Gears 5.
Do you know what may be the problem? God of War. GOW. Gears of War.
Yeah,
God of War.
Just gone
it's been go, GOW.
So
go,
Gears of War 5, the title will star Kate Diaz, who has made a debut in Gears 4. So you're a female protagonist in this, which is new for the series. It's been developed by the Coalition. Gears 5 will feature both split screen and online co-op play, which is interesting. We'll have support for 4K Ultra HD resolution, HDR, run at 60 frames per second, baby.
Look at that.
But it looks good, right?
Look at that. It looks
interested?
Because I just said about how not interested I was, because I played Gears 2 once and it was really flipping good, I didn't expect to like it that much.
It was good, yeah. Gears 1 and 2
was it Gears 2 with the giant fish bit? There's that giant weird fish.
And you go inside it.
Yeah. And I played it with a stranger online, and we sort of, by the end of the game, we were quite friendly, and then we went our separate ways. You know, it wasn't a friendless job, but like we had a nice. It was basically a one-night stand, a Gears one-night stand. But at the time, it was great, and I had a great time there playing Gears. And I thought, if they keep this up, I'll continue playing them. Didn't play the third one or fourth. This one, no. Look at those graphics.
No. I'm with you. I only just realised, right? This is probably one of the most ignorant things I could say as someone who works on a gaming channel. Okay. I only just realised I could play Gears of War 4 on PC.
Yeah.
So I might do that. I might have a look at that because it was on sale a few days ago. And not that I was like, it never registered. It just never registered with me because I just fell off the series for some reason. But yeah, the first two I really enjoyed. So
there you go.
It'll be good.
That was Gears. And next up was the big one that we were all waiting for, like, essentially.
Is this the right order?
Probably not, but no. I don't think there's much else after this anyway. There's a few others. Well, we can talk about Battlefield. But this is the one we were...
Watch Dogs 3?
Yeah.
This is Watch Dogs 3, right?
Yeah.
Set in Night City, like we all knew.
Yeah, we were anticipating.
Cyberpunk 2077. This is one we were just waiting for. We've been waiting for years, right?
Yeah.
And eventually it dropped, and it was just like the end of the conference where it kind of ran out of steam. We thought it was going to end, but all of a sudden it got taken over, and then this trailer came out.
I love that.
Everyone was excited.
I love a conference that, and Bethesda did it as well with their game as well, which we'll talk about later. But I love it when one more thing, you guys. I think you're going to enjoy this.
Yeah.
You know, and I love that.
I think that's what I kind of bookmarked the whole thing for me because they started on a high, they ended on a high, and everything in between was like a beat per minute. It was like one thing after another, and there was something for everybody. So Cyberpunk in itself, though, looks great, right?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I really like this trailer. I feel like I said in the video earlier that we recorded about this.
We've got a video coming up for this, by the way.
Yeah, I think tonally, I realise that some people aren't fans of the tone and stuff, but I think it's dead on for CD Projekt because they've got that. The Witcher has its dark moments and it has its moments of like levity and things that are funny in it. So the world is so big that you could spend hours following a quest chain in The Witcher 3, which is really grim. But then you'll finish that quest, go back to the town and speak to some people, and it'll make you laugh. And I think this is probably looking like the same thing, where they've got horrible violence and stuff and some vicious things going on, but at the same time there is some humour in there, and I think it's spot on. This is kind of what I was wanting, I think.
Yeah, we were expecting this. CD Projekt Red announced they were going to E3. They were showing something off, and apparently, it's here. Let's hope there's some gameplay behind the scenes and some footage will come out of the woodwork.
Yeah, they've told everyone to expect more.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that will be gameplay or just more information.
The minimum it'll be written previews, won't it?
Yeah. So there's definitely more. I quite like this trailer. I felt like a lot more of a free for all than like a kind of I don't know, like a Orwellian thing with the government ruling. This feels like all the gangs are ruling their own little areas. You had a real sense of different groups of people in it. I know a lot of people on the internet, well, there was a lot more people that didn't have a problem with it, but there was a lot of people that did have a problem with it, solely for the fact that it wasn't rainy and nighttime, and it wasn't a bit noir. People who were just used to watching Blade Runner 1, and that's it. But this is actually looking very, very, and the more you watch it, the more you notice it's got a bit of everything in here.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean, yeah.
You know.
If it's got, it will have nighttime in it, won't it? And there will be rain, I'm sure. And that's part. They keep talking. What they have said about this game so far is about simulation, and that funding they had from the government was about simulation. So that tells you they're going to try and cover a lot of bases. It's not just going to be a bright, colourful game. It's going to be a bright, colourful game. Sometimes it's going to be sometimes it's going to be really grim and bleak and miserable because that's how the world is.
I think the word punk in Cyberpunk's one word in it. It's anarchy, isn't it? And it's that sort of like I'm saying, there's no sort of, there doesn't seem to be any specific government in charge of this. It seems to be big corporations in charge, and if you look at the law in Cyberpunk. It seems to be like that. Megacorps are running stuff. A bit like almost like RoboCop rather than the government or Dredd. So the fact that they've kept that true, it seems very, very promising. I'm into it.
I think the presence of Mohicans and punks and stuff makes so much more sense in here than it does in Rage, to be honest. Because Rage is like the end of the world, but we've all gone crazy. But this is it makes sense. There's still like fashion. There's still society here. Whereas in Rage, they're just. It's just there because it's colourful and nuts, do you know what I mean?
Also, the guy's got a fantastic coat and car combo, and I fucking love that. The video was the people in the chat are asking about the big massive message. We are covering it in a later video, but long story short, for people that are very into their frame by frame trailer breakdowns, see the Project Red hid a little message in there, basically saying a bunch of stuff.
Frames.
Yeah, like believe in us and we won't let you down. All this shit.
Yeah, so there's hidden messages, no microtransactions, free DLC like The Witcher 3 and DRM free, all the pro-consumer thing you can to expect from.
And you can make your own character.
See if I can find these.
You can make your own character. Is something that they said, right?
Yeah.
So
it's not quite there. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but there's a hidden message to the fans directly explaining why they've taken so long, and all that good stuff.
We've done a whole video on that, and that'll be on the channel soon. And we've actually read through the entire message, including the FAQ at the end. So there you go.
So should we move on now?
Let's do it.
So have we got the indie thing? That's something that's pretty interesting. Play the show reel. Play the indie show reel. ID
which
Xbox
is
on the right.
ID Xbox. Let's play this.
This is because this is where we saw Tunic last year, and no one really noticed, and we saw a bunch of cool shit that people will be talking about next year. Okay, so this is where you get your actual pure, I don't know, like it's not going to be mainstream accepted just yet.
That's Ashen, is it?
I don't know.
Ashen was here.
What was that strategy game then?
They mentioned Ashen in the Game Pass, but I didn't.
Ashen was definitely here in this reel.
We've got
After Party there.
After Party, we've got some. Let's put this down. Kingdom 2 Crowns, which is a game.
Did enjoy Kingdom. It's cool.
2-player Kingdom. Being announced for the Switch as well.
This looks good. The
Golf
graphics looks awesome. If you're into golf, it looks awesome.
Vermintide 2 coming to the Game Pass, which is a cool addition to the Game Pass.
Fringe Wars.
There's one really, really good looking game. You'll know what I mean. Below, finally some gameplay on Below. Been keeping an eye on this one for a long time, so I'm very much looking forward to Below. Conquest Book looks like a Mountain Blade for consoles.
Oh, that looks like what the hell? Kingdom Under Fire. Anyone who played that on the original Xbox, that's what that looks like. Strategy game, but you're in the mix like Dynasty Warriors.
Children, another game I've been looking at for a while. Looks really cool graphic wise. Raji, that's the game that was. Raji.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Looks good. Super Meat Boy Forever, another Super Meat Boy because we haven't had enough of them. Planet Alpha. Don't know. Cuphead, obviously we saw that a little bit earlier. And where's the really interesting one? So we saw Tunic already as well. Can't remember what it's Sable. It's called Session. We saw Sable's art style is fantastic. It's so weird. Generation Zero, there's a full trailer for that online if anyone interested.
Studios looks really
Avalanche,
good.
Look at that art style. It's so weird, so unique. Look at that. That is one to watch for me, just on the art style alone.
It's like Red Turtle or something.
Rewatch that since it went so quickly. That's all we got.
Look at that. A bit of Prince of Persia 2008 one or whatever. It's a bit journey-ish, cell shaded. Looks great. Harold Halibut was shown off last year as well, and this is kind of the whole game is stop motion plasticine. Which is a bit of an unusual
Oddworld.
Yeah, so everything's made out of plasticine in this game. Yeah. Bit of a gimmick. Not sure how the game will play. Probably like Thimbleweed Park or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that looks pretty interesting.
Looks interesting, that's for sure.
Black Desert. We saw a full trailer for that a little bit earlier. A known MMO. This is another battle royale game. This one looks a bit Planet Side.
Battle royale. There you go.
Yeah, the Wind Road, and I've never heard this. It looks like an MMO as well.
Yeah.
I like the art style for this, but I don't know much about it. And that, look at that art style, man. This looks like a dream. Yeah. Dead Cells, we know Dead Cells, and it's already available on other platforms.
There you go, there's
Ashen. This is one of my most anticipated games, and I didn't actually realise that this was even shown off, guys. So
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, look at that.
I definitely
the potential for a cute co-op Dark Souls experience.
Yeah, what do you reckon that'll be? Do you reckon that'll be like a 6-hour job, but or will it be like in scope?
This looks fantastic, and I really, really like they did a full trailer for it last E3, and it was kind of crypt heavy. It made it look like 2 players in a crypt. But now look at that combat again. How the swinging is, and when we saw it last year, we saw a lot of dodging as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is going to be Soulsy. It does look like it, though.
It does, yeah.
One of our most anticipated. But Sable turns mine and Liam's head. We both were like, oh, that's like going to look like Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
Battletoads, we didn't see much about. Nier got leaked.
Nier coming on the
6 hours
Xbox
before the conference.
Yeah.
Square Enix put it on their website by accident. That's June 26th.
So that was the Microsoft conference.
Yeah.
I was really excited watching that pretty much the whole way through from start to end.
Oh, brilliant.
I've got to say, although it wasn't there was hardly any exclusives really. They showed off like the third party games, cross-platform games, just something for everyone really, which if you're a gamer, no matter what platform, I said it in the video that we covered it on, I think there was something for you here, if whatever kind of gamer you were, and it's credit to Microsoft for doing that, right? I feel like, what were your thoughts on it, feelings? You watched it all the way through, Jake?
I loved it, yeah. Like I say, me and Liam buzzing start to finish. Good showing from Microsoft. Watched E3 as long as I can remember now, certainly as long as they've been streaming it on the internet, and it's the best. Xbox came correct. They needed loads of games, they came with them, and it's just good for a gamer. You know, I don't actually own an Xbox, it's the one console I don't own, and I've got a PC, and I know that a lot of it will come to PC, but there was a lot there. There was really something for everybody there, no matter what you're into, especially if you're into post-apocalyptic games, I suppose, but there really was something there, and for me, my From Software Ninja game was cool. Finally, I'd just seen a bit of Ashen then, that was good, but yeah, that stood out to me a lot.
It's going to be remembered for one thing for me, and that's the fact that Microsoft said they doubled their studios, because it's in a few years this is going to still be that E3 where Microsoft bought 5 studios or created 5 new studios. That's the big one, and that's like Microsoft looking with one eye on the future.
Investing.
Started strong with Halo and all that, and but it's strong, but it's predictable a little bit. But then they keep coming with all this stuff, and then they go, by the way, we've bought 5 new studios. There's a new Xbox on the way, and we've added these games to the Xbox Game Pass. Such a
how
strong
about that?
E3.
That looks Xbox Game Pass looks like they've added loads of value to that. They announced Fallout 4 was from like yesterday when they thinking Fallout 4 is available on it. Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah, Elder Scrolls Online.
And what was the other
Division?
One? The Division, the original Division, available on Xbox Game Pass. Which
they really pushed it. Nice. All their first-party titles are going to be coming to Game Pass as well. So if
even the ones you've seen there, Forza.
Look, Ashen. There we go. Ashen got another mention. That's the thing, yeah. That's a great addition as well. If you only have one console and it's an Xbox, the Game Pass seems to be good.
You don't need to buy games. You need an Xbox and you need a subscription.
It's the way that they want you to go, and it's the way that we talk about gaming being streaming, and eventually it'll be that.
Yeah, streaming, but that as an alternative is even better. Possibly downloading just the games based on a subscription.
People asking to talk about Jump Force. Does anyone care about Jump Force? It was like the Weeb Smash.
All I thought was that it feels like it should have been done ages ago. It feels like such a no-brainer because of the way that kind of anime stuff plays out. It's perfect for that.
Yeah.
How is it taking this long to happen, I guess? If you're a fan of that, you must be
probably getting all the licenses to like Naruto and Death Note.
Yeah, I guess.
These aren't small franchises. Dragon Ball Z's in there. It plays like a Dragon Ball Z game, kind of these weird, mad 3D arena battles in the air and all that. But
with different characters. But with
you know that there's going to be lots of great shouting noises and big explosions like you expect from anime. I wonder what other characters they haven't announced yet, but I can't say it's doing anything for me personally.
No, I don't think I'll be picking it up, but it just feels like such a no-brainer. I'm glad for the people who'll be excited for it, because it's the kind of thing that you think should happen, and now it's happening.
If you want to see Naruto versus Goku or whatever, well, now it can happen. Liam and me dubbed it Weeb Smash, and I'm happy with that.
Right, should we leave it there? So that was pretty much it, and that's all the notes I've got. So I'm going to pass over to you, Jake, and you're going to tell us about...
Oh, right, Bethesda next.
Bethesda.
Okay, Bethesda, let's go.
Talk about Bethesda.
So Bethesda was an interesting one because it was on very, very late here. So I didn't watch it. Liam watched it, and you watched it live.
Very tired.
Yeah. If anyone watched it live, let me know in the chat. Before we move right into the first, I just want to say a big thanks to everybody, all 150 plus of you watching. That's really cool.
We appreciate it,
If you're a regular, you'll know that normally we will communicate a little bit more, but I have a feeling from what I've been reading in the chat, Bethesda's what you guys want to talk about too. So why don't you let us know, and at me, at Pale Balverine, and I'll try and... That's an easy way of me seeing the questions, see? And I'll try and answer your questions. So let's move on to Bethesda. Todd Howard Absolutely right. Now, I'm a big fan of Phil Spencer and how he presented himself. Todd Howard was so cocky, he was like a predator circling the stage. He was like quipping at the front row, like going, "I'm just because you shouted for the Switch, it's coming to the Switch." He was making jibes. He was being cocky. He was like, the coolest fuck in the party. He's locked up. Yeah. He rocked up in a leather jacket. Anyway, Todd Howard.
How much of that is down to the fact that his name's Todd? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, he acted like a Todd, and I got to tell you, I take that seriously when I'm watching a presentation. The guys, if they're big, strong brothers, I believe, I'm in. Let's do it in chronological order. What we saw.
The key to Jake's heart, by the way. Just be a big
strong bro, and make me believe. Rage 2 was the first thing that was shown off. What do we know about it? Well, it's developed by Avalanche Studios. It's out on PS4, Xbox, and Windows. We did see a little bit of this a month ago when Walmart accidentally leaked it, and then that became a bit of a thing.
They did the little viral marketing thing with the pictures and whatnot, and then there's a trailer.
We saw a pretty goofy trailer at first. It was a teaser. Then the trailer we saw looked a bit fast-paced, and Andrew WK was on, and now we're seeing this, which is a little bit more of a substantial trailer. And we got to see the boomerang kind of thing in it.
I did like this a lot.
Quite doomish.
I think environments are just, look at that.
Looks nice.
It just goes, the level of detail goes so far into the distance on a lot of these games now.
Yeah.
I flip and love that, and I really.
You can actually see the pop in there, right? I don't know if you
I noticed that. Yeah,
so that kind of indicates that this is
work in progress.
Yeah, it is actually gameplay.
Yeah.
Which before there's a question mark over whether it was like fully rendered, but you can see the pop in there, which gives me actually, counterintuitively, it actually gives me hope for the game, for how it looks.
As someone who enjoyed the Avalanche's 7 out of 10 classic Mad Max, this looks like plenty of that stuff, but with the first-person shooting of Doom rather than shitty melee combat from Mad Max, right? So I don't know. I'm into it. I don't know. The trailer was pretty irritating for me, to be honest. The first reveal thing, but this gameplay has made me believe, Jake.
It's nice to
can relate to that.
Well, quite a lot of people believe in Todd Howard. People are saying that there was so much cringe before Todd came on and Todd saved it, as well as that Matt Rutland wanted to mention that Todd actually did thank Walmart at the start of the conference. Like I'm saying, he's definitely been looking in that mirror, practicing at home, because he had some of these.
Thanks, Walmart.
Yeah,
I think it was actually what's his name, the other dude,
Pete Hines.
Pete Hines came on. Yeah, our friends over at Walmart, and I think that it was Pete Hines.
When them two were on stage together, they were like tag team champions. They were like walking past each other, going, "Over to you, Todd. Thanks, Pete." So yeah,
we should have had like a ring corner, like so they could just climb up it and just
tag him in, Swanton bomb. Right? There was no release date directly, but we do know it's the second quarter of 2019. So that's actually. Before I forget, look at this. There's a crazy weird collector's edition. It comes with this weird decapitated head that talks to you, and exclusive in-game content. Only $120. So let's not forget that. Rage 2. Then.
I like that they've done that, but like it's a cheap, shitty advert, but they are actually selling it.
Yeah, and it really is $120. So there was that. Then we saw the proper release of Elder Scrolls Legends, which is a game that you could play since March 2017 on phones, but now it's out on PS4, Switch, and Xbox One. It's like a free-to-play collectible card game like Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering or Plants vs Zombies Heroes, and others. Others are available. But this one has a proper release date. This is one of the many sort of, and you can play it right now, moments from Bethesda. Because there was quite a lot of them, to be honest. So this has been available since the conference, about 14 hours ago or whatever. Any thoughts on this, boys? Any feelings either way?
I'm not a big card battler kind of dude, but I might have a look at it. I've been I played a bit of Hearthstone and I've played a bit of like others on the mobile because it depends on whether or not it clicks. The fact it's on the Switch might be worth a look.
Yeah, I played this for about 20 hours and I don't really like card games. The Plants vs Zombies one's my favourite, but this was a close second. It's decent. It's got like quests and stuff, and you can unlock a lot of stuff without paying. I didn't need to spend a penny.
Yeah, that's always a huge factor, right?
So that's Elder Scrolls Legends. Then more Elder Scrolls news. Elder Scrolls Online Somerset DLC. So this is the 10th bit of DLC for the Elder Scrolls Online, which is a ZeniMax.
I'm going to be honest here. I'm really surprised by how this keeps going and going. Like the Elder Scrolls Online. It's just going.
I was doing a tiny bit of research to get that number. How many DLCs has there been for this? Right, look, this is number 10. I didn't know that. I remember about 3 of them. So I remember there was the big Morrowind one. So this is, for those that don't know, Elder Scrolls is obviously a beloved Bethesda Game Studios title. This is actually developed by ZeniMax, so a bit different. And this is, again, another one available right now. When they announced it, available right now. So that's 2 already. It's an expansion to an MMO, The Elder Scrolls Online. I think you have to pay about £8 a month to play it, about $10. There was cool Skyrim. This is my notes. Cool Skyrim cover version on guitar. And also, they announced DLC number 11 and 12 alongside this, which was
getting plenty of support. It's
yeah.
obviously got a strong community, a strong player base. It pops up everywhere. It keeps popping up on like Humble Bundle and things like that, and whatever. You know, just places giving it away cheap. So yeah, it's cool. It's really good.
I think that with Murkmire, you're going to see the Black Marsh, which is the Argonian, the lizard place, swamp, and Wolf Hunt is about werewolves. So there we go. That's about all we had for Elder Scrolls Online knowledge. None of us play it. I haven't even ever played it, but for those that are into it, that's a lot of support. We then saw Doom Eternal, which is the sequel, the follow-up to Doom 2016.
I fucking love this trailer.
No release date, no gameplay, just some, I don't know.
Just this trailer that Mike really likes.
Yeah. Hell is empty and all the devils are here. Some Friedrich Nietzsche's
well,
shit.
I just thought hell, but then Liam reckons it's Earth that you know, and
well,
so
buildings.
but clearly it's hell now.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, maybe buildings were bad and said to hell. I don't know. They do get demolished and that.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, it's hellish, and then I just love it. There's so much
that sick riff and that.
Yeah. It does, but that's nowhere near until the old Doomslayer pops up himself.
Yeah.
And he's having a great time. He's just loading his shotgun. It's like a theme park to him, this.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it.
I think that this is an id Software thing, and we didn't really see much from it. This is it. So
yeah, here we go.
I'm going to let it play out just so you can see.
Here's the riff. Just look how excited. It's like queuing up for Oblivion and all the towers for him. He's like, yes.
There we go. So there we go.
Is that Master Chief?
The Doom sequel, and it zooms out to... A lot of this from Bethesda, by the way, spoiler alert. A lot of unsubstantial CGI trailers that they could have paid someone a week ago to do it. But that's Doom Eternal. We don't know anything about it other than it's going to be Doom and Mike's going to like it. August 10th at QuakeCon, which is a good segue, actually. Handy for me. Quake Champions next, which is out now. It's actually, if you download it this week, it's free forever. So I don't know if that means that they're planning on charging people for it eventually. I played this in alpha and in beta and hated it because I don't like Twitch shooters. But if you do like Twitch shooters, this is the most Twitch shooter I ever played. So that's probably a good thing. It's only out on PC, as far as I know, Windows only. id Software also developed this one as well as the people who made
proper old school looking
multiplayer. It's like if you played Unreal Tournament about 15 years ago, this will be right up your street.
They probably made a big thing. They probably made a big thing about it being the original competitive shooter franchise, right?
It's true. Quake inspired Unreal Tournament, which inspired everything else, right?
Yeah.
So Quake, if you remember it from back in the day, and if you like online competitive games, if you've still got the reflexes, check out Quake Champions. And even if you think you might in the future, download it now and it'll be free forever. So I don't know if it's going to be a Rocket League style situation where when it's big they'll start charging, which I never thought would work, but Rocket League have been doing it and making a lot of money from that. The trailer, obviously, we can see a bit of gameplay and character breakdowns. So there we go, Quake Champions.
Before you move on, S Dark Omens, subscribe with Twitch Prime. Salute for you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And let's move on.
Thank you very much. So, Prey Moon Crash next, which is DLC for the game Prey, which came out like last year sometime.
Quite early last
March
year.
Or something.
Yeah, it was about that time.
This is another one of those available right now joints. So, Bethesda were bringing the goods when it came to you can play this shit right now. This is a free bit of DLC for Prey to say thank you, which is a game developed by Arcane Studios, the people that made Dishonored and shit. PS4, Xbox, and PC. Now, this is a first-person shooter with various single-player options, even more of them now. You can play New Game Plus, which has been a really requested feature, as well as survival mode. And they've got this interesting thing here. The eponymous Moon Crash DLC has got procedurally generated enemy placements and weapons, so you can play it over and over again, and it'll be different every single time. And that's available right now. It takes part on some moon-looking thing, which looks awesome. Maybe it is just the moon, I don't know. But yeah, they also announced for the future some DLC coming out this summer called Typhon Hunter, which is kind of like a hide and seek mode that you can play with other people, where there's a couple of people that take on the role of the mimics and stuff like that. So that's good because you've got a little bit of now and you've got a little bit of the future. It's kind of what they did with the Elder Scrolls, which I do admit I really enjoyed that from Bethesda. They give you something, instant gratification, and then a little taster of what's next.
They do talk a lot about that outside of E3, don't they? About how they like to announce things and make it happen very quickly. So same as you. I do like that.
Did you mention the multiplayer 4v1 mode?
Yeah, that's like the hide and seek thing, right? Yeah,
where you can actually you can be a mimic, like 4v1, which like multiplayer is new for the franchise.
It's never been.
So they're going to shoehorn that multiplayer in there.
Yeah, it's cool. Gives it legs a little bit, multiplayer and shit like that. So yeah, cool. Well done to Prey Team Arcane for giving away something for free. And I don't know if the other thing will cost, but who knows?
The Moonbase thing does cost $20, right?
Right.
$20 for Moonbase, according to chat.
Yeah, thank you very much for that information. Maybe it's the other thing that's coming out a little bit later.
Moving on?
Right, yeah, cool. Let's move on then. Wolfenstein. Two Wolfenstein announcements, although we've only got footage of one, so I'll try and do it quick. Wolfenstein Youngblood, new Wolfenstein game coming out next year, 2019, developed by Machine Games, just like the latest one. It's out on PS4, Xbox One, PC, and the Switch. It's a first-person shooter, which is co-op. No more info. Cinematic trailer, so we don't know if it's online co-op, couch co-op. Who knows where that could be going?
Or both.
Also, we got an announcement, just words if I remember rightly, of Wolfenstein Cyber Pilot.
Just words?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
God.
Know,
mate. Who does that? Who reads articles?
So you have to actually read it?
No, I think that you just have to hear them. You just have to, but there's no pictures.
Something.
There's no pictures with them.
Kind of like the radio then.
It's like one of them audiobooks.
Yeah.
No one buys them. So yeah, this is Wolfenstein Cyber Pilot, a VR exclusive game where you play a resistance hacker who has to take control of some fire-breathing Panzerhund, whatever they are, and others as you fight Nazis, just like I've been doing in the chat. Get it, chat? No platforms announced. Announced for 2019, Machine Games developing it, set in Paris 1980. That's all we know.
I'm into that.
Didn't even get a trailer, not even on e3recap.com, which is the amazing source we're using right now for our links. This is the big one. I've got a lot of notes here, and Gaz is going to say a lot.
Wow, which one do we go first? Let's do the story trailer.
This is Fallout 76. Let me give you the info dump before Gaz opens up all the gates of hell and shit.
Is there a date on this yet?
Yes, there is. November 14th, 2018. So this is the sort of previously teased Fallout game that we've heard so much about, 76. A lot of questions hanging over this one because of the online or co-op multiplayer elements that we've heard about. We do know it's coming out November 14th, so a couple of months' time. Developed by Bethesda Game Studios for the PS4, Xbox One, and Windows. It's a multiplayer RPG that takes place in West Virginia, 25 years after the bombs fell, just like what we imagined. Now, here's some things that you might not have known from a previous week's knowledge. It's 4 times the size of Fallout 4, the map that is, not the content, just the map. We don't know if it's going to have 4 times as much content.
If it's not 4 times the size of the previous game, just don't even bother making the game, innit? That's the new rule, innit? It's twice as big. Could you not make it 4 times as big?
Well, they've just copy and paste the last half, but I don't know, put a little mirror there.
It's a good line, that.
Yeah, so we know that the map's 4 times big. I don't know about the content now. We know it's online always.
Always online.
Now, Todd said that you can play by yourself, but we know it's always online. So what does that mean? That you can just ignore other people? Or does it mean it's like GTA with lobbies and you can make a private lobby? Because GTA 5 did that, but a lot of their big events, you had to be in public.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
Here's the thing though, right? If it's multiplayer, then it's a multiplayer game. If you play the Division on your own, it's alright, but the game is a multiplayer game. You're not having the experience that they've created, really. You're just having, I don't know, you're limiting yourself because they've made this game a certain way. It's not going to, in my experience, a multiplayer game that you can play on your own isn't usually as good as a single player game, if you know what I mean, when you play it solo. So, if I'm going to play this, I'm going to play it co-op.
The moment Todd Howard said it's always online, I facepalmed. Honestly, I was so disappointed. I was really disappointed because I was hoping that it might be a co-op thing, but like State of Decay 2, where you can just play it on your own, you can jump in with co-op, no PvP, and it wasn't an MMO. That was my hope, and then with confirmation, it's always online as a world that you share with other people, and that it just doesn't appeal to me the way a normal Fallout game would. And Fallout was one of my favourite franchises. ever, right? And the fact that they're doing this, having done the hashtag save player one thing last December, and announced that as a full-on, full-out online game. I don't know. I didn't expect this from Bethesda. I hoped, obviously, that it wouldn't be. My fears were realised. I don't know. I'm just still disappointed. I don't know. I just. I'm actually no, it's fine. I just want to tell you, people in the chat are also reacting both ways, really. Some people are saying it is absolutely going to be a Fallout game. Some people are saying, I hope we have a passive mode.
Look at that, though.
Some people, I love how it's Preston Garvey.
Yeah, that's cool.
People saying, and this is a very fair point, that it's still a first world problem, admittedly, but something that we are on the receiving end of. Where we live has quite shit internet, so. Other countries have quite bad internet, and always online isn't always, unfortunately, something for everybody. I for one, I'm not as. I don't know. I'll say this. I'll play it. Definitely play it. Definitely play it.
Yeah,
but I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it if it's anything like Conan Exiles. So I played that this year, and that was the least fun I've had playing the game in years.
It won't be like
that. If it's anything like that,
what I love about Fallout, right, is that it's a single-player RPG that you go and explore a world in your own time, and there's no fear of being ganked by online players or whatever, and just being attacked and any of that shit, right? I just want to play on my own terms. I don't have to worry about my settlement when I'm offline and like, oh, quick, somebody's attacking you, taking all your shit. All that side of stuff, that's just stress for me. I don't want to play games and be stressed.
Well, I'm with you on that settlement thing, but definitely. That's why that's put me off most, like 97% of mobile games I don't play because of that. I hate being nagged when I'm not playing it. And that's exactly what I don't want as well. I would be bothered by this if they hadn't also announced Elder Scrolls. But if
spoiler alert,
surprise, Mike.
That's right.
That's all right. Go on.
But because I know that they're doing so many things at the moment. We have quite recently had Fallout 4. If this was all they had on the horizon, I would be meh. I'll tell you what would disappoint me if Elder Scrolls turned out to be like a co-op.
This is the thing. Well. This is the thing. I think I'm doing that. I'm the same as you. I think, well, they're doing this. They're trying something new, but it's in my head, and it makes sense. Starfield and Elder Scrolls are probably still going to be what we know.
Starfield, yeah.
And if you're still gonna be making those experiences for people, and quite a lot of them, then feel free to do this all you want. But if this is going to be a replacement for the classic single-player Bethesda RPGs that are the most world-changing games for a lot of people, including myself, it's going to be horrible. Horrible.
I don't think they will do that because the recipe is such a winner. Yeah. They've made so much money out of Skyrim, which came out in 2011. They're still re-releasing it.
It's why most people fuck with Bethesda, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. So I think they would be daft to change things. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Do you know what I mean? And so that's why I'm fine. That's why I accept this. It isn't called Fallout 5. It isn't even called Fallout flipping New California or whatever, to steal the name of the mod. It's called Fallout 76.
I mean the thing that kind of consoles me a little bit on it is that I know people want this from a Fallout game, and I know people have asked for it. So
mods that offer it, for example.
Yeah, sure. So for those people who wanted this, I don't hold it against you. You take this one. Next time, just make it Fallout 5.
It's mine.
I'll give you a pass this time, Bethesda.
No, that's true. This is important. If it's a replacement for the old, then bad Bethesda. If it's an addition because it's keeping two people happy now, that's about as pro as you can get.
I can see this.
But I'll tell you something. That the fact that they say you can play solo, I see some people in the chat mention it, saw some people on the internet mention it earlier. You can play GTA Online solo, right? But a lot of it is gate kept behind public matches, and it's an open world designed for other players, so it ends up feeling a lot less tailored and a lot less handmade.
That's exactly what I was saying. The game is made. It's not like State of Decay where they've just made a single player game that is co-op. They've made a co-op game that you can play single player, which is very different. And and good to go back to The Division, which is like one of the earlier shared world games. You can play it solo, and Destiny you can play it solo, but there are points where you go, I bet this would be easier and better if I had a team. And there's nothing you can do about that other than just join up with other players to do it.
If they have a passive mode, so you don't have to get fucking ganked by 14-year-olds.
It'd be a nightmare if
that would be good.
Yeah.
And I'm not really into the settlement builder, but you know what? Other than that, the monsters, by the way, I'm huge into folklore and all that. The fact that they've looked into West Virginian folklore for real, monsters. Sorry, cool. Quote unquote real, and they put that in is very cool. And the fact that it looks a little bit different. It's a nice halfway house between. Basically, they've got the Skyrim grass generator. And they've chucked it in the Fallout world, haven't they? They made a nice halfway house.
I don't know how that works. If the nukes have dropped, wouldn't it be worse? Wouldn't it be even worse than it is?
I think anything
it's not going to get worse over time. It's going to get better.
Well, actually, a little interesting thing is that there are nukes on this map, right? That players can get hold of and nuke other settlements, which
that's the base defense thing, isn't it? Yes. It's like, am I going to be building anti-nuke missile silos on my base to defend from other? I can't.
So maybe I don't know how that fits in with the law, and how is VATS isn't going to be a thing anymore. I don't know how it's going to fit in with the law with everything. Player versus player, right? So everyone's going to be someone from a vault, right? Vault dwellers versus vault dwellers.
What did they say? Every human that you see in a game is going to be another player. What does that mean for NPC?
So how do you get missions? Like, how is the single player gameplay there? How is that there?
Although that is interesting because
giant sloth looks legit. Look.
That's don't shoot him. It's like I'm alright with that. I think there's plenty of games that have got NPC characters and towns and settlements that have built up that full of NPCs and stuff. I don't mind them trying something a bit different. Maybe it'll just be robots. Maybe it'll be like butler robots like you have in Fallout 4 and stuff, or no NPCs, and they'll try something different that'll be new to an RPG. I don't know.
I think all I'll say is that I don't think Bethesda are tone deaf enough to forget that the majority of their fans know them from Bethesda games, and it'd have to be EA to make that bigger mistake.
Exactly.
They've got to be willing to let people play alone, and they have said that, but I want to see to what extent before I can get really into it.
Yeah.
So I'm cautiously optimistic, as Liam would say. And I think that's what he thinks as well.
All they've got to do is look at how much money they're making off Skyrim and go, let's keep doing that. And
Speaking of Skyrim.
You want to move on?
Yeah, let's move on.
Let's move on, guys.
Skyrim, the new version.
Special edition.
Let's click the vid.
This one? This one?
So, people have been saying, Todd, when's there going to be a new Skyrim? And he was pleased to announce that there was a new Skyrim. It's out right now, developed by Bethesda Game Studios. Platforms, Amazon Alexa, a fridge, and Etch-a-Sketch. I thought this was a funny little meme. Look at us, we're leaning into the meta. People keep saying that you're releasing it. What next for the watch? And they made this with comedy genius Keegan-Michael Key from Key and Peele, and probably other things that I just haven't seen. And
he's in basically all movies now, I think.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's in all the films.
Yeah. Well, Key and Peele was great. And this is a funny little joke, although it's not so much a joke.
Turns out it's true.
Yeah, well, not the fridge in the Etch-a-Sketch version, but you can actually get Skyrim on Alexa right now. That's not a joke. So cool little joke from the big bro Todd Howard. Announcing that when he said, "Oh, we've got an Elder Scrolls announcement." We've got then there was a couple more announcements. So Fallout Shelter next.
You want to play that? Let's play that.
Yeah, let's just do it quick. Just burn through it. When does Fallout Shelter come out? Well, Todd Howard was pleased to announce that it came out right now on the PS4 and the Switch, as well as its already existing mobile version. Still free to play, base building heavy, free to play game for those that played it and were interested. I did. It didn't stick with me. This is when he started heckling a little bit. He was like, and just because you said it, it's on the Switch too. Look at that Averex jacket. Okay, so that was Fallout Shelter. You've probably already played it. Speaking of free to play mobile games, they also announced this little boy here. Elder Scrolls Blades.
Where are you with this, guys? Where are you with this?
Okay, so for those that don't know, this is a game that you can pre-order now, even though it's free, so that's weird. Another Bethesda Game Studios announcement. It's a mobile game as far as I know, but also VR support.
It's going to be multiple platforms, right? It's
really? Yeah. They're making it for everything. Okay, so this is a free-to-play dungeon crawler with console quality graphics, as he put it, and let's be honest, those graphics look nice for phone. I don't know how the monetization is going to work either, because he's not said anything.
Like Fallout Shelter with microtransactions.
Yeah, like you run out of magic to buy a potion or wait over time. It'll use that Elder Scrolls wait mechanic, I think, or you can buy potions. You say it's got better combat than Skyrim, Mike?
Yeah, because Skyrim's got shit combat. I'm a big fan of Skyrim, but it's got shit combat. I don't know. I think if it's free and if it's as long, again, if they're doing this as well as a million other things, so it's. If it was like, an EA conference, again, to use the example from earlier, you would probably just get this and then some announcement about Star Wars Battlefront 2 DLC and that's it. But they haven't. They've got multiple proper games and this stuff, which I'm right with. I was pretty excited about Fallout Shelter as an idea, because it's like, this new game's coming out, and I can get excited playing this.
It's a playable advert.
Yeah,
what I mean?
Exactly. I wouldn't have minded this so much had they had the Elder Scrolls 6 ready to go, like they did Fallout 4. Fallout Shelter came a few months before Fallout 4 was ready. It's like, get hyped for Fallout 4 because you can play Fallout Shelter right now. They announced this, and it's like, what, we haven't been working on Elder Scrolls 6? You've just been working on this?
I've got to say, I
was disappointed.
As a technical bit of engineering and that, it just looks so good, like just flipping the
portrait
things of portrait and multiple control inputs. They've clearly not just thrown it together, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, they put effort in,
Look at Todd there.
They care about it, that's for sure.
Todd
he's got a confident blink.
Do you know why he did that? It's because he said that you can play the game in portrait mode because you never know when you're going to need a free hand. And people made a little masturbating joke, and he was like, for holding your coffee, degenerates. See, look, he's got the banter, he's got the Averix jacket on, he's a predator. Let's go.
For me, it would be playing in portrait mode so as to not look like a knobhead, because I feel like
that's what he said.
If you're sat in like
he calls it
meeting mode.
Meeting mode, because you're sat in a meeting, it doesn't look like you're playing
Todd
a game.
Howard looks like the man that would play mobile games during a meeting, actually. And I'm not supposed. But portrait mode is a great addition. It's like how more and more music videos are becoming portrait as well. Portrait versions of them separately, and I like the idea. Come on, it's pretty good. I mean, what the fuck is it? It's a gaming conference.
It's going to kill your battery. It's going to kill your battery.
I don't play many mobile games. Honestly, Elder Scrolls Legends or whatever was like one of the last times I played a game for more than 2 hours on a phone. But I might play this. The graphics look great.
I'll play it.
And do you know what? It'll be sick in VR.
It'll fill, it'll fill a little gap in my heart.
While we're waiting for something.
Nice one for the Switch as well.
Now, Todd Howard fucks.
We got 10 minutes left, and we've got 2 huge announced games, right?
Yeah, this is a weird one because they're huge names. They're very.
We've got 1 minute of footage for each.
Yeah, so let's go.
So prepare to see this a few times.
Yeah, so this is Starfield. Release date,
Starfield,
don't even
baby.
ask me.
Fucking Starfield.
This is a Bethesda Game Studios original. It's been long rumoured since 2015. And I'll give you a little fun fact about this, actually. This game was first announced as Elder Scrolls but in space. But then in 2016, people said, actually, people that have seen it and worked close with the project have been saying this is Elder Scrolls Online in space with elements of exploration similar to No Man's Sky. And people were mentioning No Man's Sky who have seen it, saying it's going to be single player, but it's going to have elements of exploration and like random things.
Well, this is a completely unrelated, I guess, really, but just on that topic, I think it was like the Daniel Dwyer documentary, that 1.5 hour Bethesda making of history of Bethesda games like Fallout and Skyrim. Right. They talked there a little bit about how they use procedural generation to create, Oblivion and stuff like that. And so that's something that developers use, especially if it's a big sprawling open world game like all Bethesda games. So it's feasible that they would take that, scale it up to be unbelievably big, not like No Man's Sky Infinite, but still big, yeah. And you could go and explore and see what you find. So it's that's interesting, man. That's really, really interesting.
Yeah, this exploration thing has been mentioned, but we haven't heard it from the horse's mouth, which it caused a bit of disdain for Gaz here because he has got a complete point, and there's more hopeful people like me who also have a point, and the point is this: it could be multiplayer because they've just done it. But it could be single player because they have done it. Yeah. And we just don't fucking know. And you can't get excited about it if you like Gaz because you don't like multiplayer until they just say it. Especially if they're going to have a huge game.
Well,
If you're making this game and you've seen how much uproar there's been about no multiplayer in the only other similar game, No Man's Sky, they would be mental not to put multiplayer in it. But I don't want multiplayer in it. No. I don't really want multiplayer in No Man's Sky. I'm not asked really, but it's I think they would see that demand from a market research point of view. They would go, "We've got to have multiplayer in this." But then it could be a case of separate modes. It could be a case of you just play this in your single player version, or you play it in co-op version.
I feel this is a litmus test for Bethesda Game Studios now and Bethesda Publishing, because they've got to a certain size, right? We saw the No Clip documentary.
They're huge now.
They started out from a very small, and they had troubles. They changed into ZeniMax and whatever. They branched off. But now they're in a position where they're absolutely huge, right? And so this is the litmus test. What are they actually doing in the future? Are they going to try and cash in on all the trends in the industry, which is forcing multiplayer into all their games going forward just for economic reasons or to making money? Or they're going to stick to how they started out in the first place, making solid single-player RPGs for the core fans?
Kamaru Tetsu said...
That's the question.
Todd said single-player when announcing this game. So I'm just going to get other people, please just check.
Did he say single-player only, or it's a single-player?
Well, yeah, because if he says single-player and he means multiplayer, that's silly.
If he says single-player and not multiplayer...
Single-player only is one thing. Single-player, and he doesn't say whether it's multiplayer or not. I mean, it doesn't exclude multiplayer by saying it's single-player.
Well, yeah.
Just like Anthem, I guess.
Yeah, true, but you're bleeding more. It's more of a stretch to assume
I reckon he'd get ripped a bit if he came back and went...
So
if he did say single-player, I didn't catch that, but if he did say single-player...
That's what I'm thinking.
That's pretty tasty.
And Jazz Knowledge is doubling down on that. So if that's the case... Then very much, because
Mass Effect Andromeda is single player, but it's got multiplayer in it.
Some of these single player games, this is the thing about games being so big, right? Just feel lonely. Like Mike once said this, and it's just stuck for me anyway. Is the Dragon Age Inquisition, the last one, feels like you're playing an MMO alone. It's so big and it's so full of mobs and busy bossy side quests and shit like that. You feel like it needs more people, but I don't want more people. So it's a bit annoying. So if this is huge and lonely, then like No Man's Sky, then it could work if it's got the right atmosphere. But we always see Elder Scrolls and Fallout, a new IP, cool.
Let's hope it's not lonely. Let's hope they throw loads of NPCs in there, give you loads of stuff to do, loads of interesting storylines and that kind of shit. That's what I want.
Space is lonely. In star bases and like these, like the Mass Effect 2 style floating city built into an asteroid and stuff. Full of people, I really don't mind the idea of like going right now. You're going off into the wild on your own, mate, and you've got to I like
there's both sides of it,
But this is the genius of just having a 1 minute long trailer. They have done nothing yet except give us a name and a 10 seconds.
I don't respect that at all, Bethesda. Again, this feels like they could have paid the CGI whiz 2 days ago to do this shit. And now we're moving on to the grand finale.
This was big.
This is the most anticipated game for me. Ever. For sure.
Ever? What, ever? Well, you said ever. I said before you said ever. Then.
Ever, yeah.
Of this conference,
when I played Oblivion, my most anticipated game was Oblivion 2. And then I played Skyrim, and then my most anticipated game is Skyrim 2. So it's this.
Imagine it was The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion 2.
So I actually Elder Scrolls is possibly one of my favorite franchises in games, right? And one thing I love about it is its consistency. Like Final Fantasy games are great, but they change a lot. I love Final Fantasy 7. Metal Gear Solid are great, but they change a lot. Divinity Original Sin, there's only 2 of them. But Divinity Original Sin 3, if they announced that, I would lose my shit. This is something I've played. Apart from Arena, I've played all of them. And I love all of them. And I haven't been that consistently impressed.
Arena's the very, very first one.
I played Daggerfall, Morrowind, and obviously Oblivion Skyrim. But I haven't been so consistently impressed with a game series ever. So this is definitely my most anticipated game there couldn't be right now.
First bit of news I need to hear is, what's his name, Jeremy Sewell or whatever, the composer. If he's on, he better be on there.
It was weird.
It's like John Williams not doing Star Wars.
Well, the music is a bit Skyrim-y. It's not its own thing.
It's the Skyrim theme.
It's like, remade, right?
So in a sense, this could be The Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim 2.
Well, this is the thing. We didn't get a subtitle, which annoyed me. Just Elder Scrolls 6, which is funny because we were taking a piss the other day on stream. Or was it on podcast saying about if it was just the... It might as well be.
I think that was the podcast.
Now, here's the important thing, okay? Here's the smart money boys and girls who were talking about where this could be, right? Little friendly reminder here. Until they made Oblivion in Cyrodiil, all the lore in the previous Elder Scrolls games said that Cyrodiil was a jungle. So, do you know what I mean? So forget about what you know. Forget about what you know about what might be these regions. Because it could just be anything and they've made up. Like, this could be the Black Marsh. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cyrodiil was a jungle, and then when you played Oblivion, you were like, oh, it's going to be in a jungle. It wasn't, so they could just change it.
It's that the thing with that shot as well is it could be any game. It could be any of the ones that they've been set, because it's a bit arid. There are woods. It's by the sea. There's high mountains, and there's a castle. It's about as stock Elder Scrolls as it gets.
Yeah.
One thing's for sure, this is going to be a while out yet, because it was said that they're working on this after Starfield, and Starfield's going to be for the next generation.
There's no subtitle yet either, so
they're
still brainstorming that one.
So we know that this is going to be the second Bethesda Game Studios game, at least, of the next gen.
Yeah.
Which is about the same as getting excited in 2006 for Skyrim.
I'm so happy that they've said it's coming. I'm so happy that I know it exists.
Yeah.
And, I've got Fallout 76 to look forward to. I've got Starfield to look forward to. I've got plenty on my plate from Bethesda now.
It's a change of strategy for Bethesda, who have historically not said anything, trying to keep as many secrets as possible. But they have the likes of that damn Jason Schreier leaking all the shit all over the place. That they're probably really frustrated, and they just want to go, right, we'll just lay everything on the line. Nobody can leak anything from inside, because they're such a big company now. We've just discussed. There's leaks coming from possibly everywhere now. They're thinking, let's just change it up. Let's say everything that we've got to offer. Nobody can leak shit. We can't get frustrated with anyone. We'll just lay it all on the table. And I think that's a good strategy for them going forward, because times have changed.
It's a shame It's a shame because, like you're saying, there's hardly any chance these days of anything huge being revealed and it amazing everybody, and no one knew anything about it, because there's fucking people who make it their goddamn jobs to go and look at trademarks.
Yeah.
We knew Cyberpunk was coming because people were trawling through trademark listings in local areas, and we know about Starfield years ago because of trademarks. So because of this world information, we're going to have to see underbaked trailers like this, because they want to say it themselves rather than fucking Walmart Canada leaking it.
I'm fine with this, I'm fine with this kind of just saying that it exists.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Because in there are other worlds like movies and stuff, they'll say, oh yeah, we're trying to get a director and a writer to do this for us, years before they actually even film it. So I'm totally
But that's the thing. Imagine a movie world where they showed the trailer for the teaser trailer for Jurassic Park: The Lost Kingdom or whatever in 2008. It's almost unheard of. For games, it's a huge process. So I have to. Unfortunately, other forms of entertainment have a lot shorter turnaround time, but games have the longest. And the bigger the games get, the longer this goes. This could be years.
Do you think it would be better if they were really open and they would just said, "We're thinking of making a new Elder Scrolls game"? I don't know what you think of that, guys.
If they verbally announced this, it would be the exact same thing as seeing this, because this is just going to be broken down.
Yeah.
Someone online has already probably made a 40-minute video about this, going through it, look at the rocks, look at the moss.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with this kind of trailer is they haven't committed to anything. The setting, the name, the characters, nothing. They've committed to nothing. They've just announced we're working on this game, and so that leaves everything else to change.
Look at the moss, by the way.
Yeah, speaking of which, we're going to be back on Wednesday. Where we're
Wednesday, 3
I don't know if we'll be doing this again for the rest, because there's lots more to go.
I mean, I feel like we can do it.
I really enjoyed it.
It's been nice, And chat, as you know, especially people that have been knocking about for a long time in the chat, there's fucking loads of you in here, 170 of you. Fucking
That's
hell.
The biggest viewing figures for a
while.
But
we've been kind of neglecting you for good reason. Games, which is why you're here anyway, to hear us talking about games. So cheers for coming in, and sorry.
Yeah, sorry. If you do want to check out more of our content, we produced there's a Microsoft roundup video today. We've got a Cyberpunk video going out tomorrow. We've got more content from overnight coming up tomorrow, just on the regular YouTube channel, as well as Wednesday we'll be streaming again at the same time, 3 p.m. UK time, and we'll probably do the same again, going through Ubisoft, Sony, Nintendo probably.
When is Nintendo?
5 p.m. tomorrow, our time. Square Enix as well. There's probably loads more still to talk about. So we will be back. Mark it in your diaries and hit the follow button, subscribe or whatever it is. And
nice one, boys.
That's all we have time for.
Cheers very much for sticking around. It's been fucking cool.
Yeah, we'll see you on Wednesday.